As you will see, last night I was at a concert with Tom. It was his very first concert. We went to see Little Mix at Ingliston, and although it was really busy, really loud, he just coped so well. I am so proud of him. And sometimes he can be quite guarded, and he just wasn't like that at all last night. He was just singing along, jumping about, just having such an amazing time. So I am so glad that I took him to it, and it was a new experience for him. I'm here at Edinburgh Waverley today, and I am going to be getting the train to Stirling. I am on the panel today for an event where it's a film showing called Resilience. I am really nervous, but I am also really looking forward to it. The film that we're going to see, Resilience, is all about adverse childhood experiences, or ACEs as we call them. And the aim of this is to really let people that are working with children, parents, teachers, companies that are working in schools, let them really understand what ACEs are and the effect that they can have on children throughout their life. So I've never seen the film before, and of course I'm on the panel answering questions afterwards, which is quite a scary thought, but I am sure it will be absolutely fine. So I look forward to seeing you there. To be on today's panel.
So keep it up, quench my desire, and I'll be at your side forevermore. You know your love keep lifting, keep on lifting, higher, higher and higher. I said your love keep on.
We're gonna hear a teeny bit from them, and then use that to kick us out over to the whole of the audience, because really what we want is to be able to talk about where we think that this should go and what you think of the film. We have joining us today Laura Crichton, who is the mother of 2 adopted boys and is also the author of the blog Empowering Attachments, as she's taken up blogging. So there are lots of places that you can find Laura, and she's doing fantastic work.
I'm an adopted mum of 2 boys, and we adopted them 5 years ago. And I suppose the one that we see the most difficulty with is our eldest. Before he came to us, he had 7 moves through the care system. So when we had this little boy arriving, you can imagine we were told to expect a honeymoon period of him maybe a couple of months, lasted 2 days. And it was full on this very angry little boy. My background was in teaching, and of course I thought, once he's in school it'll be fine, everybody will understand. Absolutely not. And we ended up actually having to move his schools because the staff there just didn't get it, and I kept saying it's attachment, you have to understand. And I was being told, oh, we know about attachment, and they just didn't. I've probably become a bit more outspoken as well, and I'm determined that they will know about attachment and ACEs. So yes, 5 years on, things are much more settled. Not great, there's still issues, but we're getting there. In terms of the film, wow, just amazing. And it's, for me, this is much bigger than all of us in this room. It affects everybody. Everybody has to know about this. And I said quite a controversial thing the other day about PEF funding, Youth Equity Fund. And my very strong belief is that to say that it's for children in poverty is not good enough. It's a cop-out. It's not just about children in poverty. And what I would say is my children, yes, they were living in poverty. They don't live in poverty anymore. They are not part of this wonder. They get nothing. So what if, that we're seeing there where there was a doctor's surgery and they were assessing everybody on their ACEs score? What if that's what we did in schools? And the funding was based on ACEs scores. How amazing.
So there's a vision for Scotland.
Lifted me higher and higher. Now once I was
I am not long back from Stirling, and the absolute amazingness that was my day at the resilience screening. My head is absolutely buzzing. There's just so much that happened. I mean, there was just the actual meeting Dr. Suzanne Zeedyk herself, and she is what I regard as the guru of attachment. So to actually meet her, talk to her, share ideas was just amazing. There was the actual film itself, which really just blew my mind. It really did. I kind of roughly knew what to expect with it, but the science behind it is just wow. It is so powerful. It has such an impact. It has to have an impact on so many things: education, businesses, funding, just so many different walks of life. It really is going, or hopefully is going to have such a huge impact. And then of course there was the panel itself. So I was quite nervous, and as I said to you before, I hadn't seen the film, so I was kind of worried what the questions might be. But actually, things that I was asked, I was an expert in them, because it was all about my children and the experiences that I've had with them, and just I kind of was just saying things as I see them. I'm not prepared to hold back on anything, I do have over the past few days said things that are slightly controversial in terms of the systems that schools have, education has, the funding. But do you know what? Somebody has to say it. And the amazing thing is, so many people are agreeing with me. So yeah, it's just how we take all of this forward. And then the completely amazing thing was, it was probably one of my highlights of today. At the very end, a lady came up to me who works for the Children's Parliament, and she passed me a card, which you're going to see now. It's given to people from various walks of life who are standing up for children in a variety of different ways. And she said that she wanted to nominate me for standing up for not just my own children, but for other adoptive children as well. I mean, what an honour. It just completely blew me away. Soon I will be sent a badge that I can wear with pride to show that I am an unfearty, because I absolutely am. I am here to fight in any which way I can for the rights for any children who have suffered ACEs, adverse childhood experiences. Because if we don't stand up for them, and we don't fight for them, and we don't help them, then our society is in a lot of trouble for the future. I am absolutely shattered now. It's been such a full-on day. Last night we had a bit of a nightmare coming home from the concert. We were trapped in the car park for almost 2 hours. So Tom and I never got home till after midnight. And of course I was up at 7 o'clock this morning to catch the 9 o'clock train to Stirling. Tonight Tom is away for another sleepover, so I had to prepare him for that. And Tiny is heading for one tomorrow night, and again I'll need to do some prep with him in the morning. Then Em and I are getting another day away. We feel quite guilty, it's 2 weekends in a row. We are heading to a wedding, so until tomorrow morning, good night.
disappointment was my closest friend. But then you came and it soon departed. And you know you never showed his face again. That's why your love keep on lifting me higher, higher and higher. I said your love keep on lifting me higher and higher. I'm so glad that I finally found you.
Nella fantasia esiste un vento caldo che soffia sulla città come amico. Lo sogno d'anime che sono sempre libere.
In a million girls, and now with my loving arms around you, I can stand up and face the world. Let me tell you, love, keep on lifting me higher, higher and higher. I said your love keep on lifting me higher and higher.
As you can see, it has been a completely full-on weekend. My head is still buzzing from resilience and just the follow-up conversations that were had, and I really need to focus this week on how I can help to take all of it forward, especially in terms of education. Tiny and Tom were away for sleepovers. Tiny, unfortunately, had found this really difficult. It is the first weekend after the end of term, and he found the end of term extremely challenging. It's just too much change and quite a lot of unknowns for him. One of his teachers left a few weeks before the end of term to go on maternity leave, and he just found this really difficult to cope with. And end of terms is something that children with ACEs or attachment issues find really difficult. And so I guess it's something that we have to live and learn with. Next year I will be trying to make sure that we don't have anything planned for the first weekend. I think we all just need a little bit of downtime. But at the same time, it's life, and we were invited to this wedding months and months ago, and it is just one of these things that happen. So this week is going to be the first week of the summer holidays, and you will be able to join me in a new set of vlogs looking at rediscovering play and see what we get up to. Until then, see you later.
Lifting me higher